What you are about to watch is a Starfleet Academy training video. All the information contained herein can be found in the Starfleet Survival Guide, as well as the Starfleet Medical Reference Manual. If you ever need to use these publications at some point in the future to look up any of the information I'm about to tell you, by all means do so. Your very life may depend upon it.
Accessing.
Hello cadets, my name is Captain Foley. Starfleet Academy has asked me to come to you today to talk to you about a threat that you may experience on some away missions, and it's something that is very, very important because this is a dangerous creature that we're going to be talking about today, and that is the Mugato. Now, it was originally native to one planet, however it has spread to several other planets in the systems surrounding it, as well as some places outside the Federation. So chances are good you may encounter this creature at some point in your away mission travels. As a result, I am here to give you a briefing about the creature itself, its habits, its characteristics, and what to do should you or one of your away team members become bitten or attacked by a Mugato. So by all means, please pay attention, as this information may save your life or one of your fellow officers one day. The Mugato is an ape-like creature native to Neral that has white fur, poisonous fangs, a single large horn on the top of its head, and spiny protrusions along the length of its back. The Mugato is an omnivorous predator that will not hesitate to attack humanoids or creatures larger than itself. It is extremely territorial and generally a solitary creature, except during its mating season. The best policy for dealing with Mugato is to avoid them at all costs. When on Neral, or other worlds known to harbor Mugato populations, which have spread to several worlds within and beyond the Federation due to poaching enterprises gone awry, reduce or eliminate food orders and personal scents from yourself, your garments, your campsite, and your vehicles. Furthermore, do not sleep in the clothes you wear while cooking. Store soiled clothes in a manner that will inhibit detection of their odors. Do not store food in open areas. Do not allow refuse, personal waste, or other odor-producing material to build up in or near your encampment. Following these simple procedures will reduce the likelihood of an encounter with a foraging or hunting Mugato. When you are traveling in the dusty, rocky hills in which Mugatos prefer to hunt, be alert for signs of its presence. Such signs can include, but are not limited to, paw prints, tufts of its white, coarse fur left on brambles or other thorny growths, and partially consumed masses of mako root, which female Mugato consume when pregnant or nursing. If you encounter a Mugato, proceed cautiously. If you see the creature before it sees you, freeze. Remain motionless and quiet. Do not do anything to draw the creature's attention. If it looks away or begins to move off, cautiously back away along the path you came. Get to cover before the Mugato sees you. Stay downwind of the creature if possible. Don't leave any of your own blood, excrement, clothing, or food in the Mugato's territory. If it discovers them, it will use the scent information to track you back to your camp. If the Mugato sees you from a distance, run. Attempt to use the local terrain to block the creature's line of sight to you, then take cover. Do not attempt to flee to high ground. Mugato are excellent climbers and will overtake you easily. If there is no chance of reaching cover, try to reach deep, moving water. Wild Mugato are unable to swim. If you are unable to escape a pursuing Mugato, or if it attacks you by surprise, defend your head and throat at all costs. The Mugato prefers to tear out the throats of its prey. If you are unarmed, strike at the creature's eyes, ears, and genitals. They are its most vulnerable points. If you have a pointed weapon of a length greater than 23 centimeters, such as a dagger or even a sharpened stick, aim for the underside of its jaw, at a point just behind the chin. This is a soft spot in the creature's anatomy, and properly targeted attacks here can puncture the creature's brain pan, killing it instantly. Even a less than perfect wound here can sever the creature's jaw tendons, rendering it unable to deliver its highly venomous bite. Do not attempt to strike at the creature's lower torso. Its thick fur will absorb most blunt attacks, and its body is heavily muscled. Do not attempt to pierce the creature's chest wall. Its ribs are very close together and connected by thick, extremely resilient cartilage. Likewise, its sternum is very thick, 3 times thicker than that of the average human male, and will repel most stabbing attacks. Now for some interesting Mugato facts. Each Mugato defends an area of personal space, which can vary from a few dozen square meters to several kilometers, and encroaching on that space can provoke an attack. Mugato are very strong and very fast. They can run almost as quickly as a Terran horse or Klingon sark. Most humanoids cannot outrun them. Mugato have superior auditory, visual, and olfactory senses. Mugato are excellent climbers and can easily pursue prey into trees and up steep, rocky inclines. Mugato aggressively defend food, whether it is their kill or a carcass they have scavenged. Avoid carrion, even if no Mugato presence is evident. Pregnant and nursing female Mugato on Narelle consume large quantities of natural mako root. If you encounter large patches of this plant, leave the area immediately, as it will likely be central to a Mugating nesting area. And now we come to one of the most important parts of this talk that I'm having with you. Should you ever get bitten by a Mugato, they are venomous and highly, highly deadly. So if you get bitten or one of your crewmates does, these are the symptoms that you'll experience. The manifestations will include general weakness, rapid pulse, nausea, vomiting, chills, blurred vision, drowsiness, abdominal pain, possibly convulsions, and development of a coma. Reactions from Mugato bites are usually aggravated by acute fear and anxiety. First aid: keep the victim quiet and reassure him. Keep the affected part below the level of the victim's heart. Apply a constricting band or tourniquet 10 centimeters below the bite on the victim's arm or leg, between the wound and the heart. Do not apply tightly. Your index finger should be able to slip under the band when it is in place. Give artificial respiration if indicated. Treat victims for shock unless nausea and vomiting develop. Sips of fluid may be given if the victim can swallow. Do not give alcohol in any form. The victim should be transported as quickly as possible to a place where proper medical attention can be administered. Now we're going to talk about the venom and how to negate it using the mako root, which is present on Narelle and a few of the other worlds that these creatures are inhabiting. The venom of a Mugato is slow acting, but extremely lethal. It can take a victim up to an hour to die. Multiple attempts to create a synthetic antivenom have failed. To date, the only known cure for Mugato venom is found in a tuber indigenous to Narelle, the mako root. Firstly, obtain the mako root. Break the mako root open laterally along its dorsal and ventral surfaces. Soften it by kneading with the hands. Firmly massage the root into the Mugato bite wound. Make an incision on the palm of the hand of an unpoisoned individual who must have iron-based hemoglobin. Sorry, Vulcans. And allow his or her blood to flow through the mako root into the victim's wound. The efficacy of this treatment rests in the complex natural components found in the mako root. Iron-based blood that is allowed to flow into the root causes a chemical reaction with several of its natural compounds, producing a natural antivenom formula. The newly formed antivenom passes out of the root and enters the victim, where it quickly counteracts the symptoms of Mugato poisoning and neutralizes the poison entirely within less than 24 hours. During this time, the patient will remain unconscious because of the natural antivenom's sporific side effects. Research has revealed that the Ka-Un-2 healers of Narelle did not happen upon the mako root's healing properties by accident. Although the Mugato is normally a predator, zoological studies have confirmed that the mako root is a staple of its diet, especially female Mugatos during periods of pregnancy and nursing. So there you go, recruits, cadets, future officers. I hope to work with you all, well, some of you someday. But in the meantime, there you go. You have a brief breakdown of the Mugato and ways to survive, things to look out for, and ways to counteract any effects should you be attacked or bitten by a Mugato. I would like to thank Starfleet Academy for allowing me to come on here and talk to you today. And until then, guys, like the video, subscribe to both channels, the Captain Foley personal channel and the Trekyards channel, and by all means check out other videos by us as well. Until then, this is Captain Foley signing off. Live long and prosper.